Good afternoon, everyone. We're here with Corpse Party, Book of Shadows. We had to skip the opening this time, though, because Twitch does not like the opening. And we don't want to get silenced. This is a direct sequel to Corpse Party 1. I don't know that much about it. I know that it's based off a bad ending. This is a bit more dark and way more bloody. So if you have problems with too much blood or gore or reading, it's a lot of reading. What the? There we go. Seal, Demise, Encounter, Purgatory, Shangri-La, Mirai, Tooth, or Blood Drive. Let's go Seal. What lovely weather. I wonder how Ayumi's faring at school today. I hope she's enjoying herself. Who's Hinoi? Hey Moe, what's up? The spirits seem unusually active again, though. Oh, is this Ayumi's sister? Look at that art upgrade. There's that old sense of unease too, the same one Ayumi and I had been feeling all our lives, but stronger than ever. I don't like it one bit. I got strep, Moe. Strep throat. But I'm doing okay. It's just how it be. I can sense its presence has gotten very, very close. I don't feel too bad. I'm just on medicine. But that's preposterous, right? Preposterous. I'm probably just imagining things. In a horror game, you're never imagining anything. Maybe it'd be best if I talked with her about it. I only hope nothing bad happens. Book Shadows Episode 1, Seal. Like I said, it should be okay, Moe. Don't worry. I'll stop if it gets too much, but I'm feeling okay right now. Naomi says, ga. I throw my bag, collapsed onto the bed, and stare up at the ceiling. These were my familiars. The familiar lighting, the familiar patterns I knew so well. A familiar stain in the corner. I see you. Don't worry. Boy, I understand. I also cannot not worry. Why are you pitter-pattering me? I remember when my dad made that stain. It was my 5th birthday. He just opened a can of soda I've been shaking. Staring up at my ceiling was something I'd done a million times before, but today it felt strange. Like I'd just come up from doing the exact same thing. And I'm not talking about the general act of lying in bed and looking up. A more specific sense that I've experienced a singular moment in time once before. Deja vu? Hi. Yeah, there we go. I believe the term you're looking for is deja vu. Supposedly deja vu signifies that a new destiny has just been born within you. So congratulations, Nakashima. You may be a whole new person now. Hee. So said the class rep, making light of the situation in her usual creepy way, but maybe she was right. I've been more... Oh, God. Cognizance of my actions since then. Usually if I pay too much attention to every little thing I do, I begin obsessing. Then I just give myself a headache and end up calling it quits. But this deja vu was real, and it was far stronger than it had any right to be. This wasn't your run-of-the-mill spooky feeling. It was all-encompassing. It's your favorite character, Moe. No matter where you go in this house, it all smells just like you, Naomi. Is this heaven? I believe this... the next... I believe this the first... every chapter but the last chapter is based on a bad ending of if you leave but don't try to help Sachiko. That way you just literally ditch and run. I swear, Seiko, doesn't it feel like this has all happened once before? Look at her neck. Look at Seiko's neck. Are we just like hallucinating terribly? Is this just like a messed up... I don't like this, Moe. What has? You sleeping over here? And the next day we were both like, hey, let's go clothes shopping. Don't you remember? Surely you jest. Long have I sought to capture thee and infiltrate the walls of this holy temple, but today marks my first successful conquest. Even in death, she won't leave Naomi alone. Yeah. But compared, we saw how bad everyone can get in the bad endings of 1. So, ironically, I don't dislike Psycho that much. Because at least she never tried to murder us. Yeah, I guess that isn't the sort of thing I'm forgetting so easily. Maybe it might just be my imagination. There's actually a reverse of deja vu, where you think that you've done this before, but it turns out you've never have. It's a trick of the brain. Yeah. Finally, our flag has been planted. Seiko and Naomi together at last. Yeah, you bet this is gonna be fun. Lots of fun. But what's all this about a flag? It's a dating sim term. Oh, thank you. No, he. So I began my first ever slumber party with Seiko. When 5th period ended that day, we tore right out of school and loaded on all the junk food and drinks we could carry. Man, I miss sleepovers. Seiko and I had been friends forever, but neither of us had stayed at the other's house before, so we were both pretty excited. This is gonna be fun. Naomi, do you mind if I make a quick call home? Kids know where I'll be, but I should still check in since I don't have a chance to swing by. I haven't had a sleepover in that isn't family related in years. Years. Maybe once or twice, but it was the same friend. Otherwise, I say Moe. Sleepovers. It seems so hard to get even nowadays. Sure, go ahead. Do you need to use the landline? Oh, landlines. No, my cell phone will be just fine. I just worry about my poor little you know? He'll be sad if I don't at least call. No problem. You do your thing, and I'll take a quick bathroom break. Hee. I exited my room, glancing behind me to see Seiko holding her cell phone to her head with one while flashing me a peace sign with the other. The mere idea there'd be a friend waiting for me in my room when I got back was so exciting. I guess this is Naomi's first sleepover, too. Oh, the things we could talk about that night. Where should we start? What story should we tell? Yeah, okay. Looks like Dad's going to be late coming home tomorrow, so I'll head your way after the festival cleanup and all the goodbyes. Oh. Then we can get ready for Dad's special surprise together, okay? Yep. Give all my love to the others, and make sure you all tuck in tight so you don't catch colds. Take care, you. I don't know if she'll say that line again, but I'm worried. They're holding up? They holding up. Sure are, which means I got nothing to worry about. I can enjoy my time with you to the fullest. Sounds like you're ready to have some fun. And I'll bet you are too. So what should we talk about? Anything you like. I'm just glad to have this blissful opportunity. Hee. I really can't say why I felt so shy and embarrassed. The two of us were always friends, after all. Naomi, I think that means you like her. Changing the setting from school to my personal space just seemed to bring us a lot closer. Found myself staring at Seiko's face as if studying it. Naomi, she's been openly flirting with you. I don't know how to... Did she always look like that? This was someone who regarded me as a friend. All kinds of inane thoughts were swimming through my head. For some reason, they were making me really nervous. Hey, you know what we got? We got that chocolate soda we bought. Want to try it out? Do I just try and stop me? Naomi, you are a lesbian. I took out the bottle we purchased and poured its fizzy contents into 2 cups, at the faintest tinge of chocolate color but otherwise clear. As I hit the bottom of each cup, that familiar comforting sizzle of Naomi, why do you use these words? Carbonic acid rising from liquid echoed forth amidst a froth of bubbles. It's pretty color, but what do we do with the rest of it if it sucks? We take it with us to school tomorrow and offer it up to everyone. Make like we're being real nice, see? Hey, that's a good idea. Alright, here you go, Seiko. Thank you. Alright, let's drink down to the to the count of 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Sounds good. Dang, that's good. Naomi and Seiko, because Seiko's very obvious about it. They'd be like, do they like me? I'm not so sure. It's like, you guys are getting married tomorrow. What do you mean you don't know? Before I knew it, we were up to our old tricks, talking on and on like we always did at school. We smiled and laughed. I felt joy at all the same things. Spending this time together, we can each forget all about our troubles for a while. This is the kind of friend that came along only once in a lifetime. I was starting to get really sentimental, and I had no idea why. I certainly couldn't admit it to her, though, or I'd never hear the end of it. Yeah, Moi, I get it too. We poke fun and we laugh, but when you worry a lot, I can assume that just happens. You're never 100% sure of anything. Feeding her food, I just kept thinking to myself, I really hope Seiko and I can be friends like this, clean into adulthood, for the rest of our lives even. Oh, but you're in a horror game, Naomi. Maybe it was the same weird sense of camaraderie one tends to feel during overnight field trips. I don't know. Ms. Nagoshima, this food is stupendous. Come on, Naomi, say ah. Eat food, Naomi. Thank you. You two certainly are close, aren't you? Yeah, it'd get weird if they're like, she's alive again! And then, because... Just 2 girls being pals. Naomi's mom. I've heard so much about you, Shinohara, that I felt I simply had to meet you one of these days. Naomi's been talking about me, has she? Oh, all the time. During meals, you're always a hot topic around here. She never fails to have some story about where you two went or what you did. So I've been accepted by the family then. My tears of joy overflow at the prospect. I must be red as a beet right now. Seiko? Well, it's not just you. Naomi also loves talking about that Satoshi Mochida boy. Whenever it comes up, she's just so excited. I think she likes... She's like Marie because they both like hot topics. Boy. Okay, so Naomi's basically into both. That's fine, but she needs to figure it out before, like, something terrible is going to happen before she figures it out. Mom, Ixnay on the Atoshi say K? Sorry, dear. Oh, don't worry. I know all about her feelings toward her beloved Mochida. Naomi seems like a strong girl, but she's really quite the shy one. Is this pig Latin? Seiko, stop. Stop, poo. Just stop. Well, you're certainly well informed. What say you and I have a girls' night out sometime? I'll treat you to something good, and in return, you tell me everything you know about Naomi from school. This is extortion. It would be an honor and a privilege, Miss Nakashima. Hey, come on now. Well, have you gotten stuffed? Have you two gotten sufficiently stuffed? I've drawn a bath, so you should head in while the water's still warm. I assume you'll be okay going in together since you're both girls, no? Day straight. My flag is firmly planted now. The day is totally won. What are you talking about? Are we really going to the bath together? Bathe together? And seriously, what's all this flag business about? Right, the voice acting is so much better. And the art. It's pretty good. Never mind that, just come on, Miss Nakashima. We're going to borrow your bathroom. Roger that. Make sure you two get nice and warm. Seiko and I removed the lapels from our school uniforms on the way to the bathroom dressing room. See, her haircut's so cute now. Before, it just kind of looked like an awkward bob. I still felt a little uncomfortable, so I suggested we bathe separately after all. But Seiko just mumbled that resistance is futile and said about... Oh. Naomi, is this illegal? With only a few swift movements, she had my whole outer uniform stripped away in no time at all. She was a bona fide pro, real expert at taking people's clothes off, disturbingly well practiced. Well, she does have like 3 or 4 brothers. I get it. Little kids, they don't like taking baths. So she has to be kind of good at that. Ah, hot, hot, hot. Oof, no kidding. Yeah, Gooby, the command is not quite working just yet. We're still fixing up the Discord, and... I clicked it. The only issue is, it seems to not be working. We clicked the thingy, so I don't know why it's not working. Oh, well. There we go. Good enough. I'm not often on Discord, but I will check in every so often because, like, why not? Yeah, Moe, you can join. Oof, no kidding, the hot water at your house doesn't mess around. Join, Moe. Yeah, Mom likes to run the hottest baths. I keep telling her that when you're soaking, lower temperatures are better, but she never listens. Oh, well. Achoo. You might want to leave, Glooby. The anime is just gonna get extreme here. What's this? Is your body feeling chilled? Well, then take this. Gonna catch a cold if you're not careful. But be quicker to taking off your clothes, Naomi. Come on, don't be shy. Here, look this way. Seiko has such a dumb, self-satisfied expression on her face. Surprisingly, this is a horror game. On her face, she scooped up water in the basin and dropped it all over our heads. I think you're unshy enough for the both of us. I mean, you're the one who tore off all my clothes like they were paper. Well, I do gotta bathe my little brothers every day, so I've gotten pretty good at speed stripping other people. Okay, that makes sense, actually. Anyway, need to loosen up. Let's take this as an opportunity to deepen our friendship. Yeah, in Asian cultures, it's kind of normal for people of the same gender to just take a bath together. For the most part. Yes, yes, we've thoroughly broken me out of my shell. Now, how about I wash your back? Have a seat. Oh, yes, please. Can I oh no, can I show this? Do I have to block things? It's not too bad. There's no nip-nops or anything, so I guess it's probably okay. It's probably alright. They're bathing together, Maury. That's just how it does. I lighted up a brand new silk towel with body soap made washing Seiko's back, marveling at her perfect complexion. I never noticed before just what a classic beauty she was. Bought this special just for you, so I hope you're enjoying it. How's it feel? Yeah, that's it, right? Is her back itchy? And that's when all the language broke down and the sounds emanating from the bathroom began resembling strange, animalistic cries rather than human speech. Why do you laugh like an old man, Seiko? Cut it out, you sound demented. Just... Here? I made you itchy, I'll bet. Alright, hold still. Didn't take long for Seiko's back to become completely enveloped in soap suds, but I could still detect a reaction to my every touch. And I just want to note, Naomi got a bit of an upgrade from last time. Also Seiko's hair. I kind of like the weird curls. Upgrade. Don't tell me you're ticklish. Guess the secret's out. I'm really, really ticklish. In that case, it's a thorough washing you shall get. So you're on the offensive today, are you? Wait, stop! What was that? I couldn't hear you over the sound of my furious fingerwork. Let's be honest, Moi. In anime, you're not usually normal size or smaller, unless it's like a loli, and then it becomes a whole nother issue. I was on for sure. Nothing was going to stop me from giving Seiko's back the full treatment. Naomi, this is clearly an obvious sign. After all, homework today was setting up for the culture festival, so we both got pretty dusty. A nice scrubbing, exactly what we both needed. Did you mean dusty or sweaty? Because dust is not going to get on your back. Stop squirming. Hold still. What are these noises? Man, Seiko, you're really slender. Your shoulders and waist are incredible, like a cat's. Are they? I really can't see them, so I wouldn't know. But for you, it's all about the sexy, sexy collarbone. Collarbone. What, you sound like an old fogey or something. But so beautiful and You're not looking at her collarbone, are you? I don't think that's my collarbone you're staring at. There's a Seiko staring at my chest with hungry eyes. I suddenly had another flash of deja vu. An uncomfortable one. My eyes drifted to her neck. Yeah... My collarbone is never, like, obvious. Even when I was extremely small, it was just like, you can't see it. You can't see it. I'm like, oh, okay. There was some sort of mark there, a bruise that wrapped all around her neck. Ooh. Seiko, what happened to your neck? Did you scratch yourself or something? Some people really like it, like really intense collarbones, like really intense cheekbones. Just some people like them. Something's there. It's pretty faint, but there's a red mark. Don't remember injuring myself or anything. The bruise on her neck, though slight, looked less spotty than you'd expect. If it were made by human hands, it seemed even more real when it came from cloth. It seemed more even, like okay. Probably a result of wearing her kimono cord tied around her neck all day before the red bean soup stand. What a shame to see her pure white skin so damaged. Hope it heals soon, whatever it is. My friends regularly say I have the cheeks of a small, like, child. Just chubby cheeks. Naomi? Get her back in here, Huh? What now? Is this the line you didn't want to hear? I just gotta grab the booty. The weird English in it. Chase-on. Seiko, seriously, calm down. Cool down, girl. I think you've gone totally mental on me. I just can't help myself. Just tell that to the police, Seiko. Chase on. It's like, it's so silly. You know, we do have a spare futon. Don't worry, I'll be fine right where I am. Two people sharing a single bed would make for a warm night, but if either of us rolled over, the other was going to wind up clean on the floor. The only good line of hers. Obviously, Naomi doesn't have too much of a problem with it because she's letting her sleep in her bed, directly next to her. I offered the bed to her, and she was perfectly willing to spend the night on the roll-out futon, but she wouldn't have it. Well, as long as you don't feel too crowded, I guess this is fine. Uh-huh, it's all warm and cozy. I love it. If only I could kiss you like this, I'd die a happy woman. With that, she puckered her lips in the shape of resembling the number 3 and looked at me expectantly. What had gotten into her? She loves you, Naomi. Nope, we better not. Happy woman or not, I'd hate to see you die. Ooh, quick dodge. Ah, dang. Hoisted. I was just thinking, this is really fun. Hee hee. It was around that point when I started to realize the truth about Seiko. After all, if an outsider were to witness her blatant acts of harassment and my complete dismissal of it, they'd assume we'd be more than friends, too. Yes, Naomi. But it's not like I was actually in love with her. I really didn't feel that way at all. Ooh. Cold. I just thought of her as a very dear friend and figured this closeness we had was pretty normal. It seemed natural, in fact, that our behavior would lead to third-party misunderstanding every now and again. And I just had to set the record straight. Naomi? Good attempt, Moe. But honestly, even when situations like that arose, they were pretty fun in their own strange, silly sort of way. You know, this is the first time I've ever had a friend sleep over. This is my first sleepover, too. Sure be flying in a bed alone, I'll tell you that. Hee hee hee, out. Oh, you okay? I might have slapped you a little too hard back there. It's okay, Moe. I can't even spell. I don't have an excuse. I'm just a poor speller. You slapped her? You shouldn't put your back into it, slugger. But don't worry. I'm just fine. Seiko was rubbing her face slightly where I struck her, but smiling from cheek to cheek. Sorry again. Hey, how about I come stay over at your place next time? What do you say? Oh, yes, say yes, yes. That way I can introduce you to the little ones. You are absolutely welcome anytime. Thanks. The moonlight crept in its way into my bedroom window, giving the whole room a dreamlike glow. Soon enough, I was beginning to nod off. Where was I? Was I dreaming? No, it's just my room. I could feel Seiko's warmth next to me. Or maybe I was somewhere else entirely. And this whole world, all of my life experiences were just one big dream. I know, because when they're talking, Seiko's on the opposite side. Man, it's hard to form a coherent thought when you're dead tired. Well, tomorrow's a big day. Let's get some sleep. You said it. For our sleepover right into Culture Festival. We're true challengers. Don't you dare oversleep. If you do, I'm pulling back your blankets and putting an ice pack on your stomach. Oh, don't you worry about that. I'm such an early riser. I put middle-aged women to shame. I'll hold you to that. Or anyway, good night, Seiko. Good night. I know this is a trope in horror, that they make like a very long opening where everything's calm, and it's funny, and it's silly, and then everything just goes to hell. Well, that was quick. Seiko must have been exhausted. I could hear calm fairy telltale grunts and rhythmic breathing signifying that she was out cold, and it was contagious. I couldn't get over just how warm her body was in general. How much warmth her body was generating. The previous night was so cold, but today this was perfect. She was like a hot water bottle. So warm. Oh, you're awake? I can hear your voice even from my deepest sleep, Naomi. You've experienced that before during class, remember? Is that some kind of ESP or something? And wait, you were sleeping during class? That's not good. Hey, I have a question. What's that? In the future, even after you get married, will you still spend time with me like this? Oh, I think Saiko knows she has no chance, and that's a little sad. But of course I will. Talk about a bolt from the blue. For true. For true. I mean, we're friends, you know? Through thick and thin, and we always will be. Thanks. Man, you're really a spaz sometimes, you know that? Seiko yanked the covers up over her head like some girly anime heroine, but she really did think of me as anything more than a friend. How was I supposed to react? Think about it for more than like 5 seconds. Naomi? Let's always be together. You bet. Good night, Seiko. Can't keep avoiding it forever, Naomi. Good night. Seiko and I seem to be thinking the same thing. We were both so happy. There was another side to the coin. There was a certain awkwardness as well. It was a strange sensation. We will always be friends. Always. Just friends. Naomi, you should have just took the plunge. You probably wouldn't have suffered so much in the first game. Or maybe you would have suffered even more. I don't know. Soon enough, Seiko began moaning and breathing heavily for real. She had fallen fast asleep, facing me, curled up in a fetal position. So I lay there staring at her head. My hand moved of its own volition and began gently stroking her hair. Strangely, it didn't feel awkward or embarrassing at all. Perhaps I knew because I knew she was asleep. It just felt natural. You weren't this gentle with Mochita. I slid my head more towards her neck and continued rubbing her head gently, like a mother would her child's. What a lovely shape her head was. Why are you so obsessed with the way she's, like, made? Perfectly round. I just keep stroking her hair, thinking about this and that. Suddenly, she clung to me and buried her face into my chest. Was she still half awake? What a strange scene this was, but just for the night, I was willing to let it slide. She's probably lonely, Naomi. You can't keep just flip-flopping. You gotta tell her. There. Good girl. Good girl. It's a bit painful to watch. It's supposed to rain all evening, so make sure you both take an umbrella with you. Got it. Thanks for the loaner. Have fun today. Just, deep emotional, like, scene and then jump straight into silliness. Have fun today. And Shinohara, you make sure to think about where to go on that date of ours. Yes, mother. She's not your mother, you know. Seiko had woken up ungodly early and pulled my futon away, forced me up with a chill and a sneeze. We both combed our hair and put on our school uniforms, then scarfed down breakfast my mom made, and flew out of the house. If we didn't hurry, we'd be late for setting up. Oh, things are looking pretty grand this year, too. Yeah, it's really come together. But I forgot. I have to go get the bowls from the prep room. Seiko, you go on ahead to class, will you? Roger that. Oh, and I'll take your bag for you. Give it here. Thanks. Generic high school. It was the first day of our culture festival, or Kisaragi Fest. Our school has a whole lot of history to it, and the festival has been a part of it for ages. Every student in the junior and senior class alike has been getting ready for the festivities, which were due to start in around 30 minutes. I wonder if we'll have any extra time afterwards to go check on other classes' projects. We previously washed the bowls we were planning to use, and I laid them out in the home ec prep room. With these bowls in hand, I proceeded toward Class 2-9. I climbed the usual staircase and headed toward the usual room, stepping carefully so I wouldn't drop any dishes. This plan this year was to host a red bean soup restaurant. Sweet soup. I could smell the sweet red bean paste more and more clearly with every step I took. I'd eaten so much food at breakfast, and we were having even more food rearing its head. When it comes to sweets, I say bring it on. I do agree with you on that, Naomi. When it comes to food, dessert is just on a whole nother level. Traditional sweets. Morning, everyone. Looks like there'll be enough bowls for everyone today, don't you think? Mayu, good morning. Yeah, looks like there'll be plenty. Hey. Good morning, Kishinuma. Morning, Satoshi. Naomi. You're not looking so good, Satoshi. Satoshi seems a bit out of sorts. He was just staring blankly. Was he still half asleep? It bothered me to see him like this, but I literally had my hands full, so I really couldn't dwell on it. I pushed it on into the classroom. But I couldn't actually see what was in front of me and my feet. In front of my feet, and I have to admit it was kind of scary. It would be a real challenge not to drop anything. Naomi, good morning, my dear. Seiko, stop grabbing the butt. Haven't we already said our good mornings anyway? How can I react to an opportunity like this? Naomi, hands restricted, unable to fend off my advances. Look what you did. No, that's no good. Our tableware has to be kept clean. You also have to go wash it all again. Here, I'll help. Thanks. Sorry for the trouble. So began the culture festival. All day we wore the clothes that Suzumoto prepared for us and served red bean soup to our classmates. She had a lot of costuming experience, having worked on the side of things in the drama club for quite some time. And she even did the sewing herself, putting all her practice to the test, and the kimonos she prepared for us were really all exceptional quality. So good, in fact, they became a centerpiece for us, bringing in students from the junior and senior high divisions alike. It made for a busy day. When we weren't tending to customers, we were chasing after that slacker Kishinuma or taking time to check out some of the other class projects. 200 yen for a bowl, I guess? In the end, not only did we have a really fun day, we also wound up being the most popular classroom in the whole festival. All in all, a rousing success. Finally, the clock struck 6. As our busy day drew to a close, we all stood around talking. We kept saying we should clean up, but that kind of didn't happen. Before I knew it, we were the only 7 of us left in the room. Satoshi, the class rep, Seiko, Morishige, Kishinuma, Suzumoto, and myself. Since everyone else had already gone home. Our classroom TA, Miss Shishido, showed up while Satoshi's little sister in tow. But they were it. We 9 became the de facto cleanup crew. Finally done. Good work, everyone. This place is looking like a real classroom again. Those dumbasses who went home without helping are sure gonna get a piece of my mind tomorrow, though. Not much of a classroom if I can't even hold everyone together long enough to clean up after ourselves. Well, you did manage to get Kishinuma here, surprisingly. Oh, shut up. Here we begin. Suzumoto, I just want to say it's been really fun having you here these last few months. I can't tell you how many times your positive energy helped bolster my spirits. I always remember that you're loved and respected. We may not have said much to that effect, but we've all been watching you blossom here. I lent a hand when I could and did my best to help guide you, but ultimately you walked to your own path and become a fine young woman. Miss Yui. It takes a special person to achieve what you've done without even realizing it. It's been an honor to serve as your homeroom TA. I wish you all the best at your new school. Thank you. Fortunately, this teary farewell brought us all back to reality. During the holidays following the culture festival, Suzumoto was being transferred. This was her last day at Kisaragi High School. Everyone here loved her, so this was a sad occasion indeed. She was truly a kind person, possessing no ulterior motives and harboring no ill will towards anyone. The thought of her leaving was just plain depressing. But time waits for no one, and sadly that time has come to say our goodbyes. As our final hurrah, our occult-obsessed class rep asked us to perform some friendship ritual called the Sachiko Ever After. The stupid doll. Upon mentioning it, she produced a paper doll from her bag. It looked like a lot like these proxy dolls you sometimes see in Shinto shrines, designed to absorb bad karma in someone's place. Visually, this whole thing just seemed like the setup for a cursed seance or something. It was kind of scary, and I wasn't the only one who thought so. This is, well, it's a charm that I found on the internet. If we do it right, then all of us will be together forever. We'll always be friends anyway. That's the gist of it. Interesting. So how does it work? No, don't do this. Satoshi knows. Seriously, don't do this. It's dangerous. Our lives are on the line. Okay, here. Seriously, if Satoshi knows this is a bad idea, why doesn't he well, actually, I looked it up on the internet and there was an update or something, and it said that we had to do an extra one. You know, lie, basically. It would have fixed a lot of the things. Satoshi. Don't you think it's going a bit overboard? Look, I'm not joking. I'm dead serious here. Satoshi had always been easily spooked, and in true form, he was pleading for his life that we'd stop what we were doing. It didn't sound that scary, though. Satoshi's not that smart. Don't worry, Mochita. This isn't my usual creepy fare. Gotta say, it's rare to see you get this worked up, though. In the end, 8 of us proceeded with the ritual as planned, while Satoshi sat off to the side, tears in his eyes. Kinda felt bad for him. But this is for Suzumoto. We all wanted to give her the best possible send-off, so all I could really do was silently wonder what had gotten into him. Please, I'm begging you, stop this. Don't go through this. Why isn't anyone listening to me? He's really serious, as serious as I've ever seen him. What is it, Satoshi? What is it that has you so worried? It's all a time loop. Oh, here we go. It's happened before, all over this. I remember it, and what's coming next is worse than you could possibly imagine. Okay, so if you ditch Sachiko and you just try to leave, you just end up in a time loop where you just keep coming back and leaving. That's not great either. Sorry, but I'm through trying to convince you. Just be a good boy and wait for us to finish, okay? A time loop. Is he experiencing deja vu like me? Is this some new destiny being born inside of him, like the class rep had said before? Come to think of it, this does feel a little familiar. This room, this atmosphere, this charm. I obediently dug my nails into the paper doll, but all the while I was frantically forging through my memories, trying to figure out what I was missing. We're going to pull on it until it rips apart into 9 pieces, okay? On the count of 3. With placid faces, Satoshi quickly rushed over and grabbed the paper doll himself. He was joining us after all, it seemed. Everyone smiled at him as if to say, finally, you've come to your senses, but I was just starting to get a really bad feeling from this. No, there's definitely wrong here. Ready? 1, 2. Ah, Satoshi, why? No. As soon as I reached the hallway, I fell to my knees with a thud. Oh, this is... What was that, a person? It was like pitch black, but I swear it was shaped like a person. Naomi... Oh, I guess this is right after the... infirmary event when the Sachiko's mom was chasing her. In the nurse's office. The school infirmary door swung open near me. In my panic state, I swore I seen a black, shadowy figure within it. No. Ew. You might need to call a doctor, but when you get back, you need to see about that. Your puke should not be that color. And that's pure bile. My mouth had been completely overtaken. My mouth. What was that? Overtaken with fear. What had just happened? That dark, misty entity came toward me and entered my body from every orifice. It came in through my ears, through my mouth. I feel an enormous lump in my throat, blocking the flow of air into my lungs and momentarily tearing me onto the brink of unconscious. I was almost killed. Felt as if a cold hand reached into my body and grabbed hold of my life's energy, turning all my internal organs inside out and leaving me for dead. My stomach was churning, my bowels were on fire, and my legs were all twisted around themselves. Can pressure alone disrupt the human body this much? Oh, the human body is a complete wreck, Naomi. You, who's trying to be a nurse, should know this. The odor and flavor of my own gastric juices still gnawing at the back of my throat. I felt like I was going to throw up again, but I held it in. I remember this. This place, these circumstances. I've been here before. I know I have. After performing the Sachiko Ever After ritual, there was a hellish noise and a huge hole opened in the floor. And then I was here, in this school. There was no sign of Satoshi, or Miss Shishido, or the class rep, or anyone else. Only Seiko was near me, collapsed in a heap on the floor. Still collapsed near me. Seiko and I explored the decaying building as best we could, but there was no way out. Not a single window or outer door could be moved or even broken. Just as our last shred of hope had begun to vanish, we suddenly heard Satoshi's little sister, Yuka, cry out from somewhere just out of sight. I sprained my ankle pretty badly and couldn't walk very well, so Seiko went off alone to find her while I was resting up in the infirmary. And that's when the dark, shadowy figure showed up and began attacking. I was scared, so scared, so scared, so scared, and so very scared. My teeth were chattering, my lips were quivering as if they had a mind of their own. Why would she leave me alone like that? I told her I'd go with her to look for Yuka, so why? Why'd she leave me behind? Was I going to slow her down? Was I going to get in her way? What happened? Are you okay? But oh god, are you alright? I'm so sorry I left you by yourself. Just seeing Seiko's face quelled my shivers. Whenever she's around, I feel so at ease, and at that moment I just wanted to cling onto her and cry my eyes out. Save your tears, you need them for your hydration. Hey Lee, we're back with Book of Shadows. You missed all the animal parts, we're going right back into horror. I should have just done it, but instead... Just leave me alone. Do you have any idea how scared I was? I'm sorry, Naomi. Come on, let's try to find a way out of here together. What's the point? Just forget about it. Leave it alone. We're never getting out of here. Maybe it was the safety of Seiko's presence that did it, but all the fears welling up inside me suddenly turned to anger. I was like a spoiled child. Nothing good came out of lashing out like this. Seiko didn't do anything wrong, I knew that, but I couldn't stop myself from saying what I said. She was genuinely concerned about me, and I swore to myself that I'd protect her, but my sense of reason was fighting a losing battle. You realize you're gone missing, right? How do you think my mother's gonna feel? She's gonna be worried sick about me, and there's nothing I can do. Naomi, please don't say things like that. It's gonna be alright. Like hell it is. She's gonna keep searching for me until the day I finally come home. She has to work, you know. This whole situation is not right. As long as I'm here, I'm nothing but a nuisance to her. I'm a terrible daughter. We're just gonna die here anyway, so all that time she spends looking for me will be wasted. By this time, my mind had been completely overtaken. I wasn't myself anymore. I was running on autopilot, horrified by the words coming from my mouth. It just seems like you're having a pity party, Naomi. No, I know how this ends. You're wrong. Families aren't like that. It won't be a nuisance. It won't be a burden. And you're not terrible. I don't know exactly how to say this, but when there are loved ones involved, you'll do anything for them. There it was again, deja vu. Everything was falling into place. I knew this was going to happen. I knew what fate had in store for us if we continued down this road. But I guess I can see where you're coming from. Your mother's a really kind person. The last thing that you'd want to do is to worry her. That's why we need to make sure that doesn't happen, right, Naomi? We need to get back home. I don't know how it is for you and your family, but normal people don't work that way. No, it's happening. Well, now you just made her cry. Seiko's gonna get hanged. She's gonna die. I have to apologize. No. I don't want you of all people to speak to me like that. Please, Naomi, tell me that's not how you really feel. Apologize, don't... Naomi, you're gonna apologize. You gotta stop being such a bitch. I don't say anything to calm her down. Seiko would run off, but I knew she couldn't be by herself right now. Don't what? So I put myself together, try to apologize to her, but the words... The words wouldn't come out. As soon as I tried to form something, something caught itself in my throat. I found myself unable to breathe and doubled over in a fit. Are you okay? I'm sorry, Naomi. If it's bothering you, I'll go. I hate leaving your side, but if that's what you want, I won't argue. It's not gonna... I don't think it's gonna really matter if I try, because Naomi just won't stop being mean to Seiko. Wait. Seiko would off into the distance, her figure going smaller and smaller and darker until it vanished altogether. I knew I'd make an awful, irreversible mistake. Gag. The sense of dread I felt moments before had come back full force. I could sense a malevolence within me, an outside hand that made me lash out at Seiko. Felt like something was in my mouth. I had no idea what, but there was something definitely in there. I stuck my fingers in and tried to dig it out. But... hair! My fingers found something and pulled out from my throat. What? What are you doing? Stop that. Clumps of long black hair. That's nasty. Yeah, I forgot to turn off my alarm when I woke up. I guess I probably put like, oh, wake me up in a few hours. Like, oh no. I just kept pulling and pulling. I couldn't believe how much there was. The strand stretched all the way from my stomach and my esophagus into my hands, and even then, there was still more to pull. The motion was unnatural and was creating a repulsive, sickening sensation along my tonsils. I felt like I was going to throw up again. Just throw up the hair, Naomi, and get it out of there. What the hell? Where did all this hair come from? Was all that stuck in my throat? Oh, that's why she couldn't... Ew. I don't know how hair stops her from apologizing, but that's gross. It was only a faint notion before, but now I was certain. I was remembering some future event. I didn't know why or how, but I was repeating time. Am I just not allowed to apologize? I could feel a dark will guiding me. Someone or something wanted Seiko to be killed in this timeline as well. But I wasn't gonna let that happen. Not without a fight. I have to go after her. I have to apologize. I can't leave her alone like this. I did notice that she had, Seiko had a weird indentation on her neck. And when Satoshi said it was a time loop, it kind of made sense. Like, if you just don't help Sachiko, you're stuck. Can't leave her alone like this. I ran as quickly as I could in the direction Seiko had gone, but then... Eek. No. I got the true ending, but I also got the one where, what's her face? Ayumi kills, basically, dooms herself to be alone there. A fierce earthquake began shaking the building. It was so violent I couldn't even stay standing. I crouched along the ground, waiting for it to pass. Everything was moving, and there were sounds of objects cracking and breaking all around me. Glass was shattering, ceiling tiles were raining down upon me. I was scared for my life, so scared, so very, very afraid. I was certain I was gonna die. Maybe a big chunk of the ceiling would fall on me, or the floor would open up at my feet and swallow me whole. Oh, you can send a link. Or you could, like, tell me what to look up and I'll look into it. I kept wondering how it was going to end. Was I going to be crushed? How badly would it hurt? How long would I go on before I finally died? My head was swimming with all kinds of worst-case scenarios, while my body would just remain motionless on the ground. I'd never felt so helpless before. I didn't even care anymore. Just take any release I can get. Just make it stop. But there was no release for me. All I could do was curl up into a ball and pray. Moi just loves the spam. Shiver shake. I wonder how much time had passed. It could have been only a moment, a few minutes, or even a few hours, for all I knew, but it did finally end, and the dark corridors were silent once more. No throwing up. I gradually loosened my stiffened body, uncurling from the floor. Blotches of dust and wood chips fell from my hair. Some of the finer debris had gotten into my clothing. It was crunching around like sand with every movement. It was not pleasant. Will you not spat? I brushed myself off as best I could and slowly rose to my feet, slapping my skirt in vain to clear away any excess dust and dirt. The particles in the air were like white smoke billowing through the pitch-black hallway. It took me a moment to get my bearings. Once I finally did, though, I almost wished I hadn't. The sight before my eyes was instantly washed away with little hope I may have had. What? The earthquake had completely caved in part of the floor. It was no longer possible to continue down this hall. No longer possible to trail Seiko. If I'd been cowering from the quake only a few feet ahead, I'd be dead for sure, swallowed up into whatever hell lay down there. Same Moi. I only started streaming because I wanted to get better at talking. And I know trying to figure out a good medium between not too annoying and not too boring is pretty hard to do. I knelt down by the edge of the hole and peered within. It was too dark to tell for sure, but it was what I thought I saw was correct. The ceiling and the school were unreasonably high. To make matters worse, it seems like the floor directly below had fallen out as well. I didn't dare consider just how deep this pit might go. All I knew was I couldn't risk falling into it. Shivering in terror, I pulled myself up. What should I do? Can I get around it? Can I get around it? I have to hurry. I hope so, Moi. I'm doing my best. I definitely had to hurry. If I didn't, Seiko would commit suicide, but there was still time. Yeah, Moi's not annoying. She's just eager, which is good. She's too young to be, boring. Sad. I was determined not to let it happen. No matter what, I was gonna save her. I was gonna change her horrible fate. You're pretty young, Moi. Oh no, it's a point and click. Map. Oh, look at us. We're so cute. Oh, Moi tooting their horn. There's a large hole in the floor, too big to jump across. Getting to the other side won't be possible from here. What? Oh, hello. Leave, please. There was a mess of blood and entrails in the wall, as if someone were launched across from the corridor at a tremendous speed and splattered on impact. I do enjoy this series quite a lot. I just wish they finished Dead Patient and didn't just, like, abandon it, because I do remember watching it years ago, and it was pretty good. I hate bugs. There's a mess of entrails on the wall. Yeah, okay. The smell is positively vile. Seiko commented on it before, but it really was hitting me now. Every breath I took was triggering my gag reflex. I watched a bit of the, like, mid of Blood Drive, because I got a little confused on, like, where to start. The person didn't exactly label their videos pretty well. But there was a lot of issues with the, like, gameplay, supposedly. Especially the end. The ending apparently can be very confusing because they don't exactly explain it. It was all I could do not to vomit again. So yes and no. Oh, thank goodness. Where is it? It keeps saying flies, but I don't see anything. Darkening, 15%. Okay, so what is 15%? The door to the science lab was frozen in place, as if it's just decoration on the wall. It can't be open. As I wandered through the darkened corridors, every hair on my body was standing at attention. I had goosebumps from head to toe. Felt like a fog of uneasiness had swirled around me with each step I took. Don't be self-conscious, Moe. No worries. And the fog was growing thicker and thicker, to such an extent that I began fearing the darkness might swallow me whole, and I'd cease to exist. I could feel my sanity slipping away. I don't know how much longer I could hold out, and I was starting to lose patience. I just wanted to get it over with. Fear was like a slime covering my entire body. Slime. No matter how much I wiped, I was only just squishing it around. It wouldn't come off. It was stuck fast. I walked around aimlessly, calling out Seiko's name, but by doing so, I think I was just able to dull my senses and just barely maintain my grip on reality. What are you? Please answer me. I wasn't thinking straight. I want to apologize. Up ahead, I swore I saw a leg glinting off of something. I looked for a moment like a web of scenery. What? Sinewy strings stretched all across the hall. I slowly crept forward until I could confirm that they were, in fact, strands of wire. Gently, I reached out a finger and touched the closest one. Ouch. Why did you touch it, Naomi? Pulled my hand away. Looking down, there was a very fine, clean slice right on the tip of my finger. Tiny red beads were beginning to form. I can imagine that it could be a little worrying, especially if you're trying to go into music, boy. Those beads just kept getting bigger and bigger as I watched, eventually swelling up into one another and forming a single drop of blood. And that drop quickly became too heavy for its perch. It began welding its way down my hand toward my wrist. Piano wire? No, it's a little different. You can sharpen piano wire. I couldn't believe it had cut so deeply from just one faint touch. Had it been sharpened? Yeah, sharpened. It really stung. If I hadn't noticed those wires strung up across the hall, and I just kept walking, I shuddered to think what would have happened. Death not from malevolent spirits, from a mere booby trap. Who could have done this? There was definitely a planned malice behind it. I could sense an ill will in the air and began to tremble. Was someone watching me, even at that moment? Was someone just waiting for me to fall into their trap and die so they could gloat about it? Someone there. Hey. It's like an unconscious shout. I couldn't control myself. I was scared. Whoever did this was heartless. I couldn't just let it go. Stop this, please. You're scaring me. Don't do these awful things to people. A bevy of negative emotions began swimming through my head. I suddenly realized I was crying. Let me see. 1 second. Glooby, glooby. Ah, here we go. There you go. And I knew this was corridor. With its web of razor-sharp piano wire, it was effectively impassable, at least for the moment. Oh, don't get all shy on us now, Lee. I needed to find some way to cut these wires, or some means of disabling the trap at any rate. I decided to go back the way I came and search the rest of the school for answers. You can have feelings, doesn't mean I'm not going to teach you about it. The door to Class 3A is frozen in place. If it's just decoration on the wall, it can't be opened. Smudged, bloody red letters read, "Getting close to the darkness is one way to learn the truth. This whole place is close to darkness, after all." What? It controls very weirdly. Hello? Oh, 1 sec. Lady. Oh, no, what are you doing? Lady wants out. What do you want, my lady? I know. Here you go. I watched the PSP version of Persona 3. I think I still have the ROM on my computer. I never actually touched it, but you get to play as the girl version? What is this? Souls burned by the wave of energy, pay tribute to God in this house of Shinozaki. Purified by the flames of hell, judgment past is the great beyond. The one that over there, like, yeah, it's a little bit 2D, it's a little bit chunky. And clunky. The following words are scrawled on the back. Your friend is a traitor, you're going to be killed. Run? This shouldn't have been here. It wasn't on the board when I first got here with Seiko. Somebody had to written it recently, but why? To create a rift in our friendship? I don't know if it was a person or a ghost who did this, but whoever it was a terrible thing to do. This is all really starting to get to me. Someone here, stop harassing me, whoever you are. I can't take this anymore, I just can't. I didn't even know whom I was angry with, but make no mistake, I was seething. I was probably really close to my breaking point. You're at like 19% darkening, Naomi, what the heck? I ran out of the room, never even pausing to wipe the tears from my eyes. Where do we go? What do we do? Look, she's at 19%. 19! That's not even a fourth of the way there. Or a fifth of the way there. I'm not even assuming her darkening. I can see it. With my eyes, my special eyes. We know how she feels. She won't stop talking about it. More piano wire. Oh, it's more piano wire. I'm surprised. As a high school student, she has all these like things. She's got the butt cream in her pocket, but she doesn't have scissors. There was yet another piece of piano wire in this room, seemingly razor sharp like the others, but only one. I could avoid it easily with some care. Don't say that. We might not get the butt scene though, Moe. Seiko's defining characteristic. What is this thing? The corner of the room said an antique mechanical device with a lever attached to it. It predominantly featured two big wheels with spools of translucent wire coiled around them and projected out towards the ceiling in a perfect tight line. Could this be the source of the booby trap? Pull the lever? Sure. It's a pretty big lever. I wonder if it'll move. The machine was old and lever was rusted, so it wasn't going to give without a fight. I could rattle it a little, though, so I figured I had a chance. Nerg. I did it! It's gone, the piano wire, it's gone. It didn't go down. All right, that's great. But let's peek around a little bit more. What's that light? There weren't any lights on, and the whole school was bathed in darkness. Yet in the alone room, a small circle of light just kept blinking on and off. It seemed almost as if it would turn on whenever I looked at it, and turn off whenever I looked away. Or maybe that was just my imagination. But it seemed possible that someone could be trying to get my attention. Is anyone in here? No response. I began to get more and more creeped out with every passing second. At first I thought maybe someone was watching me, but now I was almost certain of it. Flashlight. To get closer to the source of the light, the blinking stopped. This light was now fully on. Thank you. Is it yours? Split white skeleton. Judging by the height uniform, you speak junior high school student closely. There's a name tag. Shobu University Middle School. Masashi Kawasaki. Give me that. Flashlight, and it's on. I wonder if this was the source of the blinking light. It did turn on steadily when I got near the thing, but that just left me with more questions. Take it. Maybe it was just low on batteries, and that's why it keeps going on and off. That's what I told myself as I picked up the discarded flashlight. Nothing seemed particularly odd about it. It was just your regular run-of-the-mill flashlight, and it really did seem to be low on batteries. I have to make sure to use it sparingly so as to not waste what little energy it had left. There are shelves littered with dead lice. If one were to rest an arm on one of these shelves, there's no telling how many might come along for the ride. Okay, I don't know what makes her go crazy or not. Listen to your teacher. You're going to die now. I guess that doesn't hurt her. As soon as I entered the room, I had a bad feeling about it. The silence was almost deafening. There wasn't a single sound to be heard. This room and this room alone felt very different from any other. There are two skulls that seem to be held up against each other. Both are female, looked around junior or senior high school age. There's a school name tag. Kasuyami High School, Sato Yuzuki. Child's crayon drawing, very vibrant and colorful. The subject's mouth is open and seems to be eating a watermelon, perhaps? I guess this is how it would be if we were actually there. It'd just be dead silent, because, like, there's no noise. Class log. I ate a student today. I was hungry, so I had to. Plus, we played rock, paper, scissors, and I lost. Oh, that guy. I thought I'd lose to an adult, but I didn't. Okay, now we can go back to here. Come on, Naomi, you can walk faster than that. Help, please, someone, please help me. What? Who? Nakashima, grade 3, room A. Please return to class immediately. Who, me? You're next. What the hell does that mean? I can't even go down there. I'm ignoring that. Some sort of mechanism. Pull a lever? No. Well, maybe. Large hole, 2 word. Okay. Might as well. Pull it. Yes. Phew. What a strange contraption. Pulling the lever made a retractable floor extend outward over the hole, but also restrung all the piano wire. I have to be careful not to touch any of it, even if I even slightly brushed up against a single strand. Let's go. Another one. Right at the base of the staircase, no less. What a sadistic place to put it. It should be possible to use the stairs, but that piano wire is razor sharp. Best to go slow and take care not to forget about it later. There's not actually a lot to look at. I wonder if our choices actually matter. Up the stairs. Is our vision getting more red? The boys' room is completely boarded up. It won't be possible to get inside. Boarded up, they say. Completely boarded up. I need to get used to these buttons. Bucket? It's an old rusty bucket full of maggots. Best to keep your distance. Oh, jeez. Is Seiko in there? Shaky, faded lettering could barely just be made out on the old flyer. Pull it out of your mind. Don't worry, eat, laugh, go nuts. Let the darkness in. Suddenly I feel sickness in the pit of my stomach. It's almost unbearable. I feel like I was forgetting something. Something absolutely crucial. Something I was consciously trying to forget, but absolutely had to remember no matter what. Is there just, like, no one in here? I guess not. What was the point of this, then? The music's really good when it kicks in. But when it doesn't, it's a little bit confusing. The board should be sturdy enough to get you across the other side. What sort of mechanism with a conspicuous lever waits? Both. Pull it. Yeah. Might as well. Silence can be extremely creepy, because when you're used to music, you don't know what's going to jump out at you. Although jump scares are a bit cheap. Yes, I thought, control by both the floor and the wire chair was both or was neither. How cruel to make a person choose. Can't go that way. So let's go this way. No worries, Moe. Oh. Oh. What happened? To stop it, please, you got the wrong person. Can't go to 3A. Oh, how rudely. Chanting her and then sounding her. So cruel. There's a large hole in the floor stupid to jump across. Then where do I go? Okay, can't go that way, can't go that way. Guess all we can go is up. Let's go, Naomi. The door to the reference room is frozen in place as if it's just decoration on the wall. It can't be opened. I see you, body on the floor. It's decomposing chorus. It smells ghastly. Judging by the height, uniforms, this probably once a male senior high school student. The school name tag, it seems to have survived intact, primarily displayed on his now damp and discolored blazer. Masukaze Prefectural High School, Kazuhiro Murofushi. Well, at this point, we've looked everywhere. Hello? There's nothing here. If you have any hints, Lee. Already confused. We can't, we're only one person. Where would we go? I guess we could just check the nurse's office. That's the last place we can go. Oh. Oh. What? Oh, come on in. What? What? What's happening? Eck. Come on in. Some unknown force lifted me off my feet and pulled me into the classroom. It was so dark in there that I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. I'm glad you've come. There's no time to lose. The examination is about to begin. Please remove your jacket. That's a good girl. Now lie down on the bed. Not sure what else to do. I pulled out the flashlight and pointed in the direction of the creepy voice. Eh? Vice Principal? No. What? So the classroom was bathed in the familiar faint light, and I was alone. Despite what I just heard, every witness seemed to be fully intact. It's alright, Moe. Good God, what next? See, look, our eyesight's just getting kind of... Oh, that was a big jump. We're just wandering around. We got pulled into a classroom. Creepy voice. I don't like this place. The former was where I'd been attacked. I didn't want to stay in here any longer than I had to. That horrible sensation of my body being overcome by the hair-like mist was something I never hoped to experience again as long as I lived. There's a photo here. The paper was cracked and warped in various places, and the picture itself was in black and white. Clearly this is not a recent photo. It's a simple shot of a man looking directly at the camera. It had a formal air to it, as if it was used for what? Oh, there we go. Let me see that again. Photo of a young man. Proper procedure for dissection. First and foremost, you must ensure that both arms and both legs are firmly pinned down, such as the subject is completely unable to move. Next, make a clean incision across the stomach and carefully peel the skin on both sides, exposing the subject's innards. Use pins to keep the remainder of the page is so stained and faded it's completely illegible. The large number of bottles. Each of them has to be packed in tightly with small chunks of unidentifiable meat, with the smell suggesting they've been here for quite some time. Hey, bro. It's an old-fashioned space heater, but it's not gonna work. But it's so full of ash, probably never light again. Hello? There's a pair of scissors on one of the shelves. The blades are stained with blood. Take the scissors, cut the wire. All things considered, there's surprisingly little dust on these beds. There's nothing under them, is there? No, there isn't. Good. Picture of the guy. Alright. It's a large hole on the floor. Where do we go? At this point, we went everywhere. Pull it again. Pull the lever, yes. Oh. Come on, Naomi, we only have so much time before you end up darkened. No matter how much I wandered, I just couldn't seem to figure out where Seiko had went off to. I'd been tased from the shadows and frightened, so the whole time I was searching, I couldn't take much more of it. I was losing my mind. When I came to my senses, I found myself standing in the hallway on the third floor of the school building. I began to doubt myself, to doubt the fated events that lay ahead, or whatever these horrific future memories were. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. Couldn't actually happen, right? Thank you. I had no reason to doubt the things I'd been envisioning, of course, but I kept telling myself it was all just paranoia. Oh, jeez. I experienced deja vu many times in my life, ever since I was a little girl, but it didn't have to mean anything. Someone once told me that deja vu was just the brain recognizing a similar situation from one's past and making a false connection, pulling the wrong file. Please, no more. Seiko. Please don't leave me by myself. I basically lost all my ability to reason, as if my mind had been taken over by some outside force. I broken down on the spot and began crying. Naomi, that's your go-to, is to just cry. What's that? A loud sound caught my attention. It sounded like someone kicking a wall. I shot up from the ground as if I were yanked. And as I rose, my brain began recognizing a similar situation from my past. A file was being pulled. No. The sound of a struggle coming from inside the bathroom stall. It's exactly the same. There was an eerie stillness in the girls' laboratory. It didn't feel like there was anyone else in there with me, but I sensed a slight movement on the third stall door from the back, as if it was just closed. My heart was racing. I was so nervous. I felt like all the blood in my body began flowing in reverse. Behind this door... Ooh. Where are you? I missed you. Just looking at the noose sent a wave of dark... See, where are these nooses coming from? A wave of dark feelings through my mind. The specter of death was right in front of me, bearing its fangs. If I went too much longer without finding her... Hey? That same dull thud echoed again from behind me. Startled, I turned back toward the stall. No one was there, so what was I hearing? The wall. There's a breeze coming out from it. I stepped inside and began lightly knocking on the back wall in several different spots. Oh, it's hollow. Looking closer, the wall did just jut out very slightly around that exact spot. Unconsciously, I pushed it. And a small piece of panel swung out into the space beyond, like a door. It was well hidden, to say the least. Never once would I guessed there'd be a hidden room behind this particular bathroom stall. It's really dark in here. It was extremely narrow, making it feel longer than it was. You could fit maybe 2 tatami mats on the ground, end to end. A hollow cut into the floor in the back. A hole cut out, fitted with a ladder leading down to the main school building below. I peered down the hole, but could see no sign of a floor, nor the end of the ladder. This thing could lead all the way to the ground level, or even further. Eek. Whether due to the pressure differentials or the breeze in the air, the secret door shut itself behind me. That must have been what I've been hearing earlier. A wretched smell was wafting up from below, hardly a surprise given where I was. Didn't want to imagine what unspeakable things might await me at the bottom of this ladder. But if Seiko had gone this way, I shook off my misgivings and began descending. That's not really the sound of a ladder. Wondered if maybe this ladder ended in a garbage dump or something. I stopped in my tracks, seriously considering turning back. But Naomi makes weird noises, but I didn't want to miss something that had to do and have to do this again later, so I figured I might as well tough it out and see what I might find down at the bottom. Have you ever literally went on a ladder, Lee? I was wafting between my desire to be through and my instinct to turn back, but I kept coming down all the while, holding my breath as much as I could. Naomi, do you not remember the pit of bugs you fell into? Sure is wet. If I'm not careful, I might have slipped. What? Ew. What did you fall into? Holy God, it's not a garbage dump. I seemed to be in a cave-like room with muddy walls and a dirt floor. But it sounded moist. How is it just dirt? Looking up, I could see a very faint light coming from the hole I just climbed through, but the whole area was otherwise pitch black. There doesn't seem to be anything to find in here at all. I'm probably just wasting my time. While surveying my surroundings the best I could, I attempted to stand up, but that didn't go very well. Ah, what the hell? My ankle had swollen pretty badly and felt like it was on fire. It was the same sprained ankle that Seiko attended to earlier. I must have landed on it when I slipped from the ladder, aggravating it further. Lee. No, why is this happening? I made another attempt to get up, but this time on my good ankle. If I shifted my weight so the majority of it walked on the leg, maybe I could walk. No luck, I wasn't going anywhere. I was stuck in this dark, dank cave, and no one would ever find me, with a ladder I couldn't use. My leg had begun going numb, and the pain from my ankle was almost unbearable. What up? Naomi, stop being such a baby and get up that ladder. Your life's in danger. No, I have to get out of here. I have to. Leaning on the wall for support, I attempted to stand once more, this time holding my sprained ankle in the air as best as I could. I placed both of my hands on the ladder, but it was no use. I couldn't even make it the first step. Missing all the strength, I figured I'd give jumping a try, even if only one leg. But as soon as the other came in contact with the bottom rung of the wet, slippery ladder, I could feel myself turning pale. I was well and truly stuck. This is no joke, I was frantic. I tried climbing up the ladder again and again, but just kept finding myself sprawled unceremoniously across the ground. Couldn't say how many times I challenged those damn rungs. I even searched the walls nearby for another way out. But it was simply no use. Oh, now I'm worried Moe will go mad with power. Tears are welling up in my eyes. Naomi, stop crying. So sorry, Seiko. I couldn't make it. I couldn't save you. Mad with power, Moe. Then all of a sudden, I sensed a person in front of me. You want to find your friend, you can't just give up. I'm impressed you made it this far. You've done well. You. It was a little girl. She was just there, and she spoke to me in a very comforting voice. Then she hugged me tightly as if trying to enshroud my head with her being. There, that'll be all right. I'll let you see her if you'd like. Will you listen to what I have to say? Didn't care who. I didn't care if it was a person or a ghost. I just wanted somebody, anybody, to save Seiko. Good girl. That's a good girl. Everything's gonna be okay. Painful memories, you see, are the funnest of them all. Everyone's crying. You insensitive jerk, Naomi. No, I shouldn't say that about her. It was my fault. Naomi was just scared, and after what she went through, I don't blame her. She's always been so cheery and so kind. Elongated eco. But I brought all of her pain, all of her tears. And that's the one thing a friend should never do. A smile suits her face best of all. See, Seiko is a good girl. She's a good person. She's a bit of a weirdo, but she's still pretty nice. Naomi, who sees multiple piano wires, doesn't take the scissors and doesn't just fix the problem. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Naomi. Sorry for making you so sad. I feel so lost without you. The same for me, Seiko. How are you able to run, freaking Naomi? You said your leg was like busted. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I just want us to be together forever. But when I'm with you, don't I make you mad? Don't I rub you the wrong way and make things unbearable for you? Of course you don't. It's just me being stubborn and pouting and behaving like a spoiled brat. I don't know many kanji, but I do know that kanji is ko for child, so it's literally just a good girl or a good child. And the good girl comes from context. Oh. Seiko was approaching with her arms outstretched. She wanted to hug me, and I immediately obliged without the slightest hesitation. This was Seiko, warm and alive, soft and smelling lovely as usual. I'd never let you go again. Me neither. You better not. There's a Japanese-style room over there with tatami mats and everything. We should go sit down and try to calm our nerves a little. And break sounds nice. Let's go. Custodian's closet. This is one of those doors that wouldn't open, isn't it? Oh, I passed out earlier, I guess. When I came to, I was lying down in this room. I was someplace underground, I think, with no way out, and then I saw a little girl, was it? For the life of me, I couldn't remember clearly. That's really odd. Maybe you have a guardian angel on your side. Or a ghost. Come on, don't say that. Well, remember that spirit told us that when we first got here. He said, no, not all ghosts are bad. Not all bad, huh? Seiko calmly opened the door and stepped into the custodian's closet. I could hardly believe this was the same person who got scared out of her mind at the first sight of a ghost only a few hours before. You seem a lot more fearless now than you when you first got here, Seiko. Or is it just me? Hee hee. As long as you're around, Naomi, I feel like I got nothing at all to be scared of. That's all well and good, but make sure you don't let your guard down, okay? There weren't any lights in the custodian's closet, but it was definitely felt a lot safer in here than it did out in the creepy, creaky hallways. Two of us plopped down next to one another on the tatami. For a long while, neither of us said a word. I guess we weren't sure what to talk about. I'm so glad you're okay, Seiko. You too, Naomi. How's the ankle? Still hurt? I felt like it did really bad for a while there, but it's totally fine at the moment. Glad to hear it. Did you manage to find your paper doll scrap? Nope, it's still missing. Guess I must have dropped it somewhere else, and finding anything in this place is quite a feat. I think we say... I don't trust Sachiko. Yeah. I'm sorry, yeah it is, I'm sorry, but when we get back, we can always ask the class rep to perform the ritual again. Then we can get you a replacement. Because that face, Lee, that face is not a trustworthy face. That's true. I don't trust Ayumi after what she did in that bad end. Once we've calmed down a bit, we reached a point where we simply didn't want to leave the room anymore. We had no desire to go back into those halls. She's cute, but she's still evil. So we didn't. We stayed right there where we were for a really long time. It was nice of her to let Naomi get with Seiko at least a little bit longer, but just chatting endlessly with one another, casual as can be. About class rep, about the class, the festival, and our sleepover the previous night. Ordinary, everyday conversation. Then I happened to look over and catch Seiko staring at me. Yeah, totally. Seiko, is something wrong? Isn't that the literal definition of evil? No, it's nothing. It's too dark to see Seiko's features in any great detail, but something seemed to miss. It was her face. Was she blushing? Naomi? This is hard for me to say. But, well, what is it? She had an uncharacteristically serious expression on her face that seemed really nervous. What was it, Seiko? What were you trying to tell me? Never you mind. Oh, come on, now my curiosity is killing me. Just spill it out already. Spit it out. Promise you won't laugh. If you don't want me to, then I won't. Okay, because I'm totally serious. Huh? My heart skipped a beat. This is the beginning. How could I have been so dense all this time? Since we have no idea what's going to happen to us in here, there's something I really need to tell you. Okay. Seiko's focus changed. Her gaze was now directed squarely at my lips. Wait, was this... Will you, kiss me? Seiko. Huh? She wants a kiss. Why? Because I love you. Oh, Seiko. Wait, are we lesbians? Like, Naomi, I don't know how to tell you this. As a friend, right? Ooh, Oh, that's not the great thing to say, Naomi. Seiko didn't say a word. She just shook her head fervently. I was dumbfounded. Was she confessing to me? Yeah. Feelings, Moe. I haven't even had a boy confess to me yet. Well, this just happens, Naomi. You gotta give her an answer. She hung her head low, staring down at her feet. My silence seemed almost like it was causing her physical pain. She looked like she might explode. I couldn't see her face clearly, but I was certain she must have been quivering and blushing from ear to ear. Then give her an answer. Unrequited feelings can pass, but you gotta give her an answer. You're serious. I'd marry you if I could. I want to kiss you and hug you too. It was the first time I ever heard Seiko speak so softly, with such a stammer, or with such a stammer in her voice. Before I knew it, I was crying, and I had no idea why. Seiko, I'm sorry, You ran away? I ran out of the room and just took off down the hall. I still couldn't tell why I was crying. It's like I was scared. Maybe I was happy, or maybe I just lost a friend. I needed to calm down. The Seiko I was friends with wasn't gone. She hadn't been lost. Regardless of whether or not I was able to return her feelings, I owed her at least a Don't thank people when they Naomi, don't thank people when they have feelings for you. It's just awkward. Even I know that. Moe's big mad. Seiko must have been pretty deep in regret by that point. I needed to get back to her. I needed to let her know that I would still stand by her. Why would you choose Mochida, a guy you barely like, instead of Seiko, who you get along with constantly? I was suddenly distracted by the sound of dripping water nearby. It was as if someone had left a faucet on, but only just, and it was slowly spilling out onto the floor. But where was it? It sounded close, yet there was no sign of running water anywhere that I could see, and I had a bad feeling about this. All I knew was it was close. Like, really close. Wait, no, it can't be. I looked down at my feet, and I gasped. An unpleasant-looking black fluid was running down my thighs and pooling onto the floor beneath my feet, and it wasn't stopping. Ew, what the hell? What is this? Is it the darkening just leaking out of her, like, literally? Yeah, can you imagine that? It's like you were in love with this person for, like, years. And you're not quite sure what she feels about you because she just lets you do whatever. So you're like, okay, maybe there's a chance. Then you end up in a horrible situation. You decide to confess. And then she's just like, thanks. Or worse, she runs out. It was literally Kay thinks bye, run into the hall crying. I hesitantly collected a bit of on my finger and studied it. It wasn't blood. It was almost tar-like in consistency, smooth and viscous. Viscous? Black tar-like blood is pretty cool. And it seemed to be faintly glowing as well. Why is something like that coming out of my body? It's glowing, Moe. What do you... If you slather it on the wall, does it make the hall light up? I mean, she's at 50% with the darkening, so, like... I don't know. You can give your theory, Lee. I just... Once I put my finger on my skirt and shifted in place, only to lose my footing and fall backwards, landing hard in my rear. Pulled my hands on the sides of my head, closed my eyes, and screamed. I reached my limit. I just wanted all of this to be over. Game theory. But try as I might to shut out the world was determined not to be ignored. It was like heaven and earth were moving all around me. I felt dizzy. It was like my soul and my body were separating. I actually became acutely aware of my own mass and started obsessing over it. It was so heavy. My head in particular, the human cranium weighs about 5 kilograms, or like 15 pounds, and I could feel every last gram straining my neck muscles. It was hurting my neck. I am curious, Moe. Please tell me. I love learning like things, even if they're useless facts. What's happening? I'm losing consciousness. I can't open my eyes. All the blood in my body came rushing to my head. Why was this happening? I could feel the blood vessels in my face pressing against my skin. I could see blood behind my eyelids. It hurts so much. The blood just kept coming. It wouldn't stop. It felt as if my blood vessels, my eyes, my whole head could burst at any moment. Someone, please save me. Seiko. Send what you like, Moe. No worries. Be careful. You're about to fall into the valley of the past and future memories. Just as my last vestiges of consciousness were fading, I heard a little girl's voice, but when I was in pain, I was weighed down. I couldn't open my eyes. If you wish to save your friend, you'll need to overcome fate itself. What are you saying? The heaviness in my head grew at an alarming rate, and I heard a tearing sound behind my ears. It was the sound of a major blood vessel breaking wide open. I was certain I was going to die, but then the pain and dizziness simply vanished. I had the sensation of faint shimmering before my eyes, and I wondered if maybe I could open them now. Slowly and carefully, I relaxed the muscles that were so forcibly and fearfully holding my eyelids shut. What? Where am I? This isn't Heavenly Host. Don't worry, boy. It's a Discord. You can put whatever you like. I knew exactly where I was. I've seen this image a million times before. I've seen it just this morning with Seiko. This was my house. Huh? Am I really home? Was it all a dream, maybe? Mom, I'm home. Something wasn't right. My field of vision was low to the ground, and everything around me looked much larger than it should. What was going on? Yeah, the blister in your eardrum just sounds...
Naomi,
guess what? I bought you a cat. Dad. You've always been so mature, washing the house all by yourself when we went away. Come on, pet it. Isn't that she great, Naomi? Huh? Mom? Now you'll have someone to keep you company. Sorry we're always so late coming home from work, sweetie. It's so nice that we can trust you, though. I'm really sorry, but now you won't be lonely anymore, right? Stop this. May was spent half of her time indoors and the other half in the backyard, as if she were out to pasture or something. It may not have been much land, but that was her territory, and she rarely ventured outside of it. Once, when I was so upset that my parents were going to be late coming home from work again, that I scooped up May and ran away from home for a little while. Papa, Mama, I hate you. Stop it. It's because you're here, May, because you're here. Papa and Mama don't think they have to come home. It's your fault, you know. Now, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Where did you run and May run off to? I'm sorry, May. I don't want us to be apart. Wait. I said a really mean thing to you, May. I'm so sorry. No, it's alright, Naomi. May will always be there for you. She really loves you, you know. She can sense exactly how you feel, and she's very understanding. Yeah, I thought she was gonna be like, I'm gonna abandon the cat somewhere. It wasn't long after that May ran away. I searched for her every day through teary eyes, but in the end, she never did come home. Such a pity. I guess even cats get strange ideas in their heads from time to time. That wasn't it. And you two were such good friends, too. I did this. But you'll make a new friend in no time. You just need to put this out of your mind and just move on. Yeah, just abandon the cat. It's because May was so understanding and kind-hearted that she disappeared from my life. If only I hadn't said what I said to her. Come back, May. You never change, do you? Mom? Mom, where are you? She's not here. Don't worry. No matter how angry I get at the animals, I would be first to abandon myself before I abandon any animals. They're innocent. And the darkening seems to be a lot more severe than in the first game. Naomi? Seiko? Are you alright? I've been looking all over for you. I'm so sorry about before. Yes, there's Lady, her mom, and her sister. And my parents are thinking of getting a dog, too. The whole COVID thing's been very lonely for them. She didn't respond, but she didn't have to. This is definitely Seiko. I can't see you very well. Come a little closer, please. Let me see your face. I drew in towards Seiko, who's sitting on the ground, and rested my hand on her shoulders, and I wrapped my arms around her. I still couldn't see her face. I thought it may be because of the dim lighting in the room. If you have, like, no time, a cat is very preferable. But, like, if you have absolutely no time, I guess fish would be the best next thing. But no, that wasn't it. Something was very wrong here. Seiko wasn't moving an inch, and that's when I realized her skin was cold. She's dead? Wait, where was I? Was I home, or was this heavenly host? The last thing I remember was frantically trying to find her again. Oh, you got some cute pictures? I could smell incense from somewhere far off, and I finally realized this wasn't reality. Listen to those monks chanting. Kishi? Minami Kishi? Okusawa? No. I know that video you sent, he was so cute. This person sitting perfectly still on the floor was not saying a word. This wasn't Seiko, so who was it? You look like such a sweetie. Don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. Naomi? In the unyielding darkness, I knew that whoever it was taking Seiko's shape was coming towards me. She's here. She's right next to me. I can feel her breath. I can sense her presence. Who are you? I'm your friend with the broken neck, remember? This is the future. Will you make me die? No. 4.5, big baby. Why did you leave me by myself back there after we finally managed to get back together, too? I was so worried that I'd hurt you, so worried, and that's why things turned out this way. No, don't say that. But you literally did, Naomi. As I lay there stricken with grief, I heard the footsteps of a child approach. I looked up and saw a little girl with a red dress standing over me. Do you want to save your friend, no matter what it takes? Some dogs can, like, not be very cute if they're, like, very aggressive. Because, like, no matter how cute they are, violence is not a very attractive trait. You want to save your friend no matter what it takes? What are you? I'm the one who controls the fate of this world. I had no clue what she meant by that. But I remember that she'd been giving me advice this whole time. She had a different air about her than the other spirits around the school. I felt like maybe she was on my side. I want to save her, please. If there's some way to do it, tell me how. I'll give you another chance to remember. Think hard. What you've just seen are events from your past, which are also the future through which your spirit now passes. In other words, this isn't quite the first time you've experienced this sequence of events. But you already knew that, didn't you? This sort of thing doesn't happen. It should have sounded like complete nonsense to me. But I didn't say a word. I just nodded. They were only fragments, but nonetheless, I was seeing crystal clear versions of what I can only assume was my first time experiencing these events. The sense of deja vu I've been feeling wasn't just some crazy delusion or misidentified nerve impulse in my brain. It was real. Death and despair is fun in storytelling, but when it comes to like a dog trying to rip your face off, it's not that fun. Then, you've already seen the trigger event from which your despair originated. So now you fight against this fated demise. When I came back to my senses, I found myself standing in the hallway on the 3rd floor of the school building. When did I get here? How long have I been here? I looked down, and sure enough, there were puddles of black all around me. It was that vicious fluid that had been spilling out from inside me. The special darkening. A palpable manifestation of dread spreading out across the floor. With no time to sulk, I had to think about Seiko. I left her all by herself again. Wonder if she's still in the custodian room. That sound. It's coming from inside the bathroom. There's a violent banging coming from one of the stalls. The lump in my throat and a shiver down my spine, I slowly crept in to take a look. There was an eerie stillness in the air within the girls' laboratory. It didn't feel like there was anyone else in there with me, but I sensed a slight movement on the 3rd stall door from the back. Think about it, open it, think about it, open it. Open it! It's the source of all the bad feelings and uncomfortable premonitions I'd been having, and I know what I was going to find. I remembered this future. Open the door! This is the future I absolutely had to prevent from coming to pass. The image of what waited for me in that stall was burned into my memory. Open the door. There she is. It was now a reality. Seiko! Naomi. Seiko, you're still alive. I'll save you. There it was again, a flash of the sad future that awaited us if I made one wrong move here. There was still time. I could still save her. Hold on, I'll get you down. But how? Her noose was pretty high off the ground. I needed some way to get up to the neck height in order to pull her down safely. Something to stand on? Use the bugs to get outside. We don't have her. Think of something else. No, I remember now. The bottom of that bucket is rusted through. I'll fall, and I'll wind up breaking Seiko's neck. Well, no, we have a bad ankle. If we stood on that, we just hit ourselves. There, must be some other way. Some way to loosen the rope so she can breathe. Gurgle. Still her friend. There's only half-conscious. Seiko was thrashing about wildly, frantically squirming for air. It seemed automatic, like a reflex. The body struggled for life when life was being denied it. All I could see as I watched her body wreathing on that rope was proof positive that she wanted to live. I'm going to save you, I swear. Get under her knees, or legs, and prop her up. It's going to be alright. I can see the future. Fate was on my side for a change. Grab her body. Grab her body? No, I had to lift Seiko's body into the air, loosening to pull the rope so she could breathe. Unfortunately... While breathing, Seiko inadvertently kicks me to square in the jaw. The force of the blow caused me to stumble and fall backwards. Seiko. She's really suffering. I have to hurry. Oh. We took too long. Her neck snapped. Seiko's neck was twisted unnaturally. Her arms and legs had limply and swayed on the floor with leftover movements of a struggle that would plague her no more. No, Seiko. I didn't make it in time. Maybe I couldn't. Maybe this was all predestined to happen. An inescapable fate. I didn't want to accept it, but here it was. Still, I should have been able to change it. Fear, despair, and anger were all swirling around inside my head, and I couldn't do a thing to quell them. This was going to happen. I knew it. But I couldn't stop it. What the hell was wrong with me? I just went through the same motion as before. I made the exact same mistakes, and now Seiko... Seiko, no. Don't leave me alone here. Don't leave here without me. A cold silence surrounded me. I was the only being left. This was the ultimate despair. Danganronpa reference. The helplessness of being completely alone. And no matter how much I screamed, Seiko would never speak to me again. Can we reload? Wrong end. We made bad choices. Wrong end too. Think of something else? No, I remember now. We did this. Okay. Think of something else. No, wait, I remember this too. If I try to lift her, I'm just gonna end up pulling her down harder and breaking her neck. Seiko. What should I do? There has to be something else. Hoist her up with her shoulders, yes. That's it, I needed to lift her higher up. I quickly ducked under Seiko's body and forced us up between her wildly flailing legs until she was sitting on my shoulders. I then put everything I had into my back muscles, standing up and lifting her into the air. This created enough slack in the rope that was upper half of Seiko's body, weakened as it was, nearly collapsing against the back wall. Thinking fast, I took a step forward and actively pushed her into it, holding her in place so her head wouldn't drop back down again. Stay with me, breathe. Breathe. Everyone lives if I get a say in it. We have to get the proper ending. What are you talking about, Lee? All the hair on my body was standing on end. I actually did it. I averted fate. I prevented Seiko's death. I feel all throughout my being. I had just stepped into a new world, a new destiny. It's an odd sensation. My deja vu, my memories of that horrible future had ground to a halt. I had no idea what would happen from now on. Seems the only memories I retained from that other timeline were the ones relating to my dearest friend's demise. Seiko had stopped squirming and simply slumped over, exhausted from the horror. You know, even though she survived, the fact she was hanging means she's gonna have, like, brain damage from the lack of oxygen. So, I don't know if survive is the proper term here. I reached my hand up to her neck gently and carefully, and after a lot of fumbling, I successfully untied the knot on the rope. Feeling the slack of off the noose made Seiko's neck made a sort of crackling noise with each yank. I was in awe how much force the rope had exerted. It was painful just thinking about it. Up to this morning, Seiko was all smiles and laughter. She was always thinking about me, and always so kind and outgoing. Why did something so horrible have to happen to her? There was nothing to be afraid of anymore. Seiko and I had now bypassed the sad fate that previously awaited us. Time loops are never this easy, though. Something's gonna go wrong. As long as the two of us are together, we'd make it through this. I looked down at Seiko, still breathing, and cried, of course. I led Seiko out of the stall and gently laid her down on the bathroom floor. She was too weak to go any further just yet. You idiot, why would you try to hang yourself? I was so worried about you. You have no idea. I laid my hand on her body. She was so warm. I wasn't going to let her go again. I wasn't going to let anyone take her away from me. It's okay now. I'm sorry, Seiko. I won't ever leave you again. Do you understand? Can you see me? It's me, Naomi. What is it? Oh yeah, because in the end of the first one we found out the reason Seiko's hanging is because Naomi did it. What? Seiko? What's wrong? It's me. Seiko wasn't acting like herself. She was regarding me as if she had just seen a ghost. Her face was palely painted. 1 second. We'll try to finish up this chapter, and then I have to leave early. I'm sorry. She was regarding me. She's seen a ghost. Her face was painted with adjacent fear from the very depths of her soul. She stumbled on her feet clumsily and hastily darted out of the room. Yeah, sorry, Moe. My throat's kind of killing me now. I think I overdid it just a little bit. She stumbled on her feet clumsily and hastily darted out of the room. Seiko's not doing so hot. Seiko? What? Why? I don't understand. Why was she confused? Either way, I had to catch her. Wait, tell me what's wrong. It's me. It's Naomi. Kept pace with Seiko's frantic, unsteady sprinting as she turned the corner and headed down the staircase. And then... Seiko? No. What happened? Did she fall down the stairs? Oh! She did fall down the stairs. Can we just put it back on? Why? I saved you. I just saved you. If she would have been a bit faster, we could just plop her head back on. Just, like, put her head back on the body. Ugh, it smells rotten. Oh, you. Poor you. Did you really think you could save her? Once someone's fate has passed us through these halls, it locks in place forever. So if you die here, you can't not die here. We can't just pull a final destination. Don't you see? If your destiny is to die here, then that's what's gonna happen, no matter what. And the way you die will just keep getting worse and worse every time. Good girl, good girl. Don't worry, I'll gladly extract all your painful memories from now on. This isn't your first time here after all, right? We have all the time in the world to savor all the new unspeakable ways your friend can die. Don't eat that, that's been on the floor. Such unbelievable cruelty. This is the inhumane malevolence that likes of which I've never seen could exist, or never could imagine. Because of my own overzealous actions, Seiko wound up meeting a fate even worse than death by hanging. Yeah, Sachiko's voice in the first game was kinda eh, but this one she's like a little sociopath. See, we're just hugging our friend, that's all. It's my fault, My tears began rolling down Seiko's cheeks, and on her forehead, into her nose, into her mouth, into her eyes. But Seiko's eyes wouldn't close. That's true. Death by getting decapitated is a lot actually better way. It's less painful. Despite lacking the ability to focus anymore, she just kept staring right at me. Oh, Seiko, what are you looking at right now? What thoughts are going through your mind? Why did you run from me earlier? Why were you so afraid? But no matter how many times I would ask her these questions, Seiko just wouldn't answer. Told her she would always be friends no matter what, that we'd always be together. Answer me, please say something. Don't leave me alone. I could still feel the warmth from Seiko's head in my arms, but she was gone now. I was powerless. All I could do was scream. There's nothing else to do. Nothing would change. Not that the screaming helped. All that did was echo back at me, as if mocking my pain. I felt like I was trapped in a cold, damp cell. I had no doubt in my mind that this was hell. Why do we have to be put through this nightmare? God, I can't take this anymore. Get me out of here. Someone, please save me. Sachiko's voice is Pikachu, an alternate tale. Demise is now playable. Soul for Testimony has been unlocked. Alright. I know we're ending a bit early today. Unfortunately. I don't know if Twitch will let us listen to the Soulful Testimony, because we can try, but if it gets muted in the recording, don't be surprised. Soulful Testimony. I like how she talks like an old lady, but she's like probably in her 20s. Not bad. We have to finish a little early, but that's alright. We'll play more next week. And we're gonna play some more Among Us and some more Persona 4 Golden on Saturday, I believe. And then we have Saturday, Moe. We'll listen to them as long as Twitch doesn't ban them. We'll listen to them. And then we have Moe's birthday stream on Monday. We're playing more Resident Evil Remake and Trying Not to Die. So those are the two things we got to look forward to. Click, click. There we go. Twitch didn't let, because we, at the end of Corpse Party 1, we watched the opening of this game, and Twitch immediately silenced it, like all of it. Even my talking on it, because they didn't like it. Someone copyright claimed it. So, we just gotta be a little bit careful. Super copyright. It's kind of dumb, but you know. And it's no worries, Moe. It's your birthday. You're still young yet. Yeah, I just noticed it as I was looking at the playback. Like, they just muted it. It was a good opening, though. But that's just how it is. I know, but those 5 years, it's like a big deal. I also recorded simultaneously, so just in case. I know YouTube will still not like it either, but you know. YouTube is even worse. But thank you guys for coming. We'll continue gaming on Saturday, and then Monday, and then probably another Thursday. Until I can get a proper schedule sorted. The Discord is open. I won't be on today. I will probably check it tomorrow while I'm doing some homework. And thank you so much for the help, and even though you guys are both dorks. Thank you, though. Have a good day.